You know what separates the dreamers from the achievers? It's not luck. It's not privilege. It's not even talent. It's time, how you use it, how you value it, how you respect it. Time is the most democratic currency in the world. We all get 24 hours. Billionaires, students, visionaries, wanderers, you and me. But the truth is, what you do with those hours determines who you become. Let's talk about it. You know what's fascinating about time? It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't shout reminders. It doesn't beg to be noticed. It just moves. Silently, constantly, unapologetically. And yet, it holds the power to change everything. Every dream you have ever had, every goal you have ever set, every version of yourself you wish to become. Time is the bridge that connects them all. But here's the truth most people don't want to face. Time doesn't wait. It doesn't care who you are, what you've been through, or what's holding you back. It keeps going, second by second, minute by minute. And the tragedy is, while time is moving forward, too many of us are standing still, waiting for the right moment. But there is no right moment. There is only this moment. And every moment you hesitate, every opportunity you let pass, time is slipping through your fingers like sand you can never hold again. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow? How many dreams have you postponed because you felt you weren't ready yet? The truth is, you'll never feel ready. Readiness is an illusion we create to protect ourselves from fear. We convince ourselves that if we just wait a little longer, if we learn a little more, earn a little more, feel a little stronger, then we'll finally begin. But time doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards courage. It rewards movement. It rewards those who start even when they're uncertain, even when the odds are stacked against them. Every person you admire today once stood exactly where you are now, unsure, afraid, doubting themselves. The only difference, they started. They refused to let fear waste their time. Every second you spend waiting is a second someone else spends working. And that's not just a motivational line, it's a fact. Somewhere out there, someone with less talent, fewer resources, and more challenges than you is building the future you're still talking about. Not because they're better, but because they're faster to act. They understand that time is the most precious currency on this planet. Once it's spent, you can't earn it back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose relationships and rebuild them. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. That's why successful people don't waste it. They guard it like treasure. Because it is treasure. Every wasted minute is an opportunity buried. Every hour lost is a chance that may never come again. It's easy to underestimate the power of small moments. We look for big breaks, grand beginnings, dramatic changes. But that's not how success works. Success is built quietly, moment by moment, through small decisions that seem insignificant at first. Waking up a little earlier, saying no to distractions, taking one small step every single day. Time doesn't demand giant leaps. It demands consistency. Because the truth is, the small things you do with your time every day will one day become the big things you're remembered for. You don't need to wait for time to give you permission to start. Time is already saying yes. It's been saying yes since the moment you were born. You just have to listen. When you truly understand that time doesn't wait, something inside you shifts. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop saying, someday, and start saying, today. You begin to value each hour as a gift, not a given. You start to move differently, think differently, live differently. You realize that time is not the enemy, it's the teacher. It's teaching you urgency, discipline, and gratitude all at once. Every sunrise is a reminder that you've been given one more chance to use time wisely, to build something meaningful, to become someone unstoppable. Because the moment you stop taking time for granted, your life starts to expand in ways you never imagined. So, if there's one truth I want you to take from this, it's this: time is not waiting for you. It never has, and it never will. So stop waiting for a perfect plan, a perfect opportunity, a perfect version of yourself. Start now, with what you have, where you are, and who you are. The clock is ticking whether you're moving or not. The difference is, when you choose to move, you turn time into your greatest ally instead of your silent thief. The future doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who act before time runs out. Because the people who respect time own their destiny, and the ones who waste it watch their dreams fade away. So take this moment, take this minute, and make it count. Because this, right now, is the only time you'll ever truly have. Look closely at your life, at your days, your hours, your minutes. They're not just random moments passing by. They're reflections. They're mirrors showing you what truly matters to you. Time is honest. It doesn't lie. It doesn't hide. It tells the story of your priorities more clearly than your words ever could. You can say family matters, but if you never make time for them, your time reveals the truth. You can say you want success, but if your hours are spent scrolling, complaining, and comparing, your time shows otherwise. That's what makes time so powerful. It silently exposes what we value most. And when we start to see that reflection clearly, we can begin to change it. Every single one of us has the same 24 hours, the same sunrise, the same sunset. But what we fill those hours with, that's what separates growth from stagnation. You can spend your time investing in your goals, or you can spend it feeding your distractions. And the difference is not subtle. It's everything. The world is full of people who say they want more out of life, but live every day as if they have endless tomorrows to waste. Time doesn't bend for indecision. It keeps moving, carrying with it the weight of every choice you make. And those choices, how you spend your hours, how you prioritize your energy, become the foundation of your life. What you repeatedly give your time to is what you become. We live in a world obsessed with being busy. Everyone's always running, always doing, but few are truly productive. The truth is, busyness is not success, alignment is. You can fill every hour with noise and still achieve nothing of real value. Time reflects not just what you do, but why you do it. When you use time with purpose, you create progress. When you fill it with empty motion, you create exhaustion. Ask yourself honestly, does your time reflect your purpose? or your distractions. If you want to change your life, you must first change what your time says about you. Because time doesn't measure your potential. It measures your discipline. It's easy to say, I don't have time. But let's be real. That's never the truth. The truth is, we make time for what we care about. We all find hours for the things that matter to us. Whether it's a relationship, a goal, or a habit. So when you catch yourself saying, I don't have time to work out, or I don't have time to read, what you're really saying is, it's not a priority for me right now. And that's okay if you own it. But stop lying to yourself about why you're not where you want to be. Success begins with honesty. Be brutally honest about how you spend your time. Track it. Study it. You'll be shocked at how much of your life slips away on things that add nothing to your future. Because the hours you waste today are the regrets you'll live with tomorrow. You see, time is not only a reflection, it's a magnifier. It takes what you prioritize and expands it. If you spend your time nurturing your dreams, you'll see growth, opportunity, and transformation. But if you spend it feeding your fears, doubts, and distractions, they'll grow too. Time doesn't play favorites. It multiplies whatever you give it. That's why every choice you make matters. Every small decision to use your time wisely creates ripples that build momentum over days, months, and years. The future version of you is being built right now in the minutes you're living today. So choose wisely. Because time is always watching, always reflecting. There's a moment when this realization hits you, and it changes everything. You start to treat time differently. You become intentional with your mornings, protective of your nights, deliberate with your commitments. You stop saying yes to things that drain your purpose and start saying yes to things that build it. You begin to live like time is sacred, because it is. And when you reach that point, life stops feeling chaotic. It starts to feel aligned. You start to see progress where there was once confusion, peace where there was once pressure. You start to become the kind of person whose time approves their priorities. Because in the end, it's not about how much time you had. It's about what you did with the time you were given. Our time will always tell your story, whether you like it or not. So write it intentionally. Let your hours speak of purpose, your days reflect discipline, and your years echo legacy. Because when your time aligns with your priorities, success stops being a dream. It becomes inevitable. Discipline. It's a word people fear, misunderstand, and avoid. But it's also the one thing that separates those who dream from those who do. Everyone talks about motivation, waiting for the spark, chasing that rush of inspiration, scrolling through quotes, hoping one will push them into action. But motivation is a burst of fire. It burns fast, it burns bright, and then it fades. Discipline, though, is the steady flame that keeps you going when motivation disappears. It's the quiet, invisible force that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Because the truth is, time respects discipline. The universe respects consistency. You can't cheat effort, and you can't fake time spent on mastery. Discipline is how you communicate with time. It's the language that says, I'm serious about this. When you decide to be disciplined, you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop giving yourself an exit every time things get uncomfortable. Discipline doesn't mean being perfect. It means showing up even when you're tired, uninspired, or scared. It means waking up early when your body says no, working late when your mind says quit, and staying focused when the world is screaming for your attention. Because discipline isn't built in comfort, it's forged in resistance. Every time you push through laziness or distraction, you're training your mind to obey your goals instead of your moods. And that's when time begins to work for you, not against you. Because time doesn't reward potential, it rewards persistence. Think of the people who inspire you, the athletes, the artists, the innovators, the leaders. None of them rely on feeling ready. They rely on discipline. They've mastered the art of showing up, whether they feel like it or not. They know that consistency compounds. You might not see progress today. You might not see it tomorrow. But every disciplined action is a deposit into your future success. And eventually, those deposits turn into results so big, they look like overnight success to everyone else. But it's not overnight. It's time, stacked on time, fueled by discipline. The ones who keep showing up when no one is watching are the ones who, one day, get seen by the whole world. Here's the hardest truth. You will not always feel motivated. You will not always feel confident. There will be days when you want to give up, when it feels like all your effort is going unnoticed, when progress is painfully slow. But that's when discipline becomes your anchor, because discipline is not emotional. It's habitual. It's the decision you made long before the struggle began. It's the commitment that doesn't break under pressure. And if you can stay disciplined when it's hardest, you'll move further in 1 year than most people do in a lifetime of waiting for the right moment. Because the right moment isn't something you find. It's something you create through consistent action. Discipline also builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through on a promise you made to yourself, you strengthen that trust. And that trust becomes the foundation of confidence. You begin to believe in your ability to follow through, to stay the course, to finish what you start. That's how you build character. That's how you build momentum. And when time sees that consistency, when it sees you showing up again and again, it rewards you with results that no shortcut could ever buy. Because time has a memory. It remembers the hours you put in, the sacrifices you made, the effort you gave when no one else did. And one day, when everyone finally sees your success, they'll call it luck. But you'll know it was discipline all along. So understand this. Discipline isn't a restriction, it's a liberation. It's what frees you from regret, procrastination, and the chaos of inconsistency. It gives structure to your time and power to your purpose. Discipline is what transforms hours into growth, minutes into milestones, effort into excellence. It's the silent promise you keep with yourself every single day, even when no one's watching. Because success isn't built on one grand decision. It's built on thousands of small, disciplined choices made over time. Discipline is the heartbeat of success. It's how you turn your minutes into movement, your effort into evolution, your time into triumph. So stop waiting to feel inspired. Start being disciplined. Because when you master discipline, you don't just control your time, you control your destiny. The verse that time is not your enemy. It's your amplifier. It multiplies whatever you give it. Feed it purpose, and it grows into power. Feed it doubt, and it grows into fear. That's the secret most people miss. Time doesn't change you. It reveals you. What you choose to put into your hours determines what your life echoes back. Every day is like a seed, and time is the soil. If you plant seeds of discipline, learning, and purpose, time nurtures them into abundance. But if you plant procrastination, negativity, and excuses, time grows those too. That's the law. You cannot cheat time, but you can choose what you feed it. And that choice determines everything. We often say, one day, things will be different. But one day doesn't come by accident. It comes from what you do today. Every minute you spend scrolling mindlessly, gossiping, or dwelling on fear is time feeding your stagnation. You can't expect to plant weeds and harvest flowers. Time amplifies the habits you repeat, the people you surround yourself with, and the mindset you carry. So if you want to change your future, stop asking for more time. Start asking, what am I feeding my time right now? Because your time is a reflection of your focus. What you nurture grows. What you neglect dies. That's not philosophy. It's reality. When you feed your time with purpose, something incredible happens. The small things begin to compound. The extra 30 minutes you spend learning instead of complaining builds knowledge. The hour you dedicate to your dream instead of distraction builds progress. And day after day, those small actions grow into unstoppable momentum. Time rewards intention. It multiplies the energy you pour into what matters most. But here's the catch. Time amplifies both your focus and your neglect. It will multiply the effort you give, and it will multiply the laziness you allow. You decide which version of yourself time will magnify. There's a reason people look back years later and say, where did the time go? It went exactly where they gave it. Time doesn't vanish. It transforms into results or regrets. That's the truth that wakes people up. When you realize every wasted hour is not just lost, it's spent. You begin to value it differently. Because time is not infinite, it's fleeting. And the things you feed today are shaping the life you'll live tomorrow. So if you don't like the results you're seeing, stop blaming time. Time didn't fail you. Your choices did. But the good news, you can start feeding it differently right now. You can start giving time something worth multiplying. When you feed time with focus and passion, it becomes your greatest partner. It starts working with you instead of against you. Time begins to open doors, align opportunities, and reward your consistency. Because time loves effort. It responds to energy. The hours you dedicate to something meaningful are never wasted. Even when results aren't immediate, time is still amplifying your work beneath the surface. The key is trust. Trust that what you feed your time will grow, even when you can't see it yet. The results will come. They always do, because time never forgets what you invest in it. So, if you want a life that feels abundant, purposeful, unstoppable. Start by feeding your time wisely. Give it your best energy, your best focus, your best effort. Replace distraction with discipline. Replace complaint with action. Replace waiting with doing. Because every second you live is a seed, and what you plant in your time today will bloom in your tomorrow. Rest time will always amplify your truth. Feed it purpose, and it will return greatness. Feed it fear, and it will return regret. You are the gardener, and time is your field. So plant with intention, water with effort, and protect your hours like treasure. Because when you feed time with purpose, you don't just build a future, you build a legacy. As every moment you live is an investment. Whether you realize it or not, every decision you make, every habit you repeat, every conversation you engage in, it's all an exchange of time for outcome. And time, unlike money, doesn't replenish. Once you spend it, it's gone forever. That's why it's not about how much time you have, but how you use it. Each hour carries potential. Potential to build, to learn, to create, to grow. But most people throw away their hours like spare change, never realizing they're spending the only currency that truly matters. When you start viewing your time as an investment, instead of something to kill, everything changes. You stop asking, how long will this take? And start asking, is this worth my time? Because that's the mindset of someone who values their future. Every action either adds to your life's value or drains it. Think about the choices you make daily, the conversations that lead nowhere, the shows you binge to escape reality, the commitments that don't align with your goals. Each one has a cost. And while you might not notice it today, time keeps the receipts. Because time is the ultimate accountant. It tracks everything. You can't lie to it. You can't hide from it. And you can't negotiate your way out of it. Every second you spend on something that doesn't serve your purpose is an investment in regret. So, if your life feels stagnant, if your goals feel distant, look not at your dreams but at your habits. Because your future isn't built in the big moments. It's built in how you spend your everyday hours. The difference between people who achieve extraordinary things and those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's awareness. They understand that time is precious, so they treat it like gold. They are intentional. They say no more often. They cut out distractions ruthlessly. They don't chase every opportunity. They choose the right ones. Because they know that spreading your energy too thin dilutes your impact. When you treat time like an investment, you learn to focus it where it multiplies, not where it disappears. That means saying no to comfort when it stands between you and your purpose. It means protecting your time from people and situations that drain your energy. Because every yes you give takes a piece of your future. So choose your yes carefully. When you truly value your time, you start to live differently. You start showing up early. You plan instead of reacting. You stop tolerating mediocrity. In your work, your relationships, your environment. Because when time becomes your most valued asset, you stop trading it for things that don't bring growth. You begin to realize that peace is profitable. Focus is freedom and consistency compounds. The small, daily deposits you make, reading instead of scrolling, creating instead of complaining, improving instead of comparing. Build into a wealth that no one can take from you. That's the beauty of time well invested. Its returns are invisible at first, but undeniable later. But here's what people forget. You're always investing time into something, even if you're unaware of it. Procrastination is an investment. So is fear. So is doubt. The difference is those investments bring no return, only regret. Time doesn't care what you do with it. It just multiplies what you give it. So if you waste your hours, time will make sure you see the outcome of that waste. But if you invest your hours in purpose, time will make sure you see the outcome of that discipline. It's neutral. It doesn't choose sides. You do. And the truth is, you are always either moving closer to your goals or further away, never staying still. Every hour counts. Every decision adds up. So before you give another piece of your time away, ask yourself, is this choice moving me forward or holding me back? Because your time is your life in motion. Don't spend it like it's endless. Spend it like it's sacred. Every minute is a vote for the person you want to become. Make your hours meaningful. Protect your focus. Feed your purpose. And remember, the future you're dreaming of is being built right now, in this very second, by what you're choosing to do with your time. As your time is your greatest investment, spend it like it matters, because it does. Every hour you waste is a dream delayed. Every moment you honor is a legacy built. Choose wisely, because the world belongs to those who understand this truth. When you treat time as an investment, success becomes not a question of if, but a when. Good time. We've been taught to fear it, to fight against it, to chase it, to feel like it's running away from us. But what if time was never your enemy? What if it's been your greatest ally all along, quietly guiding you, teaching you, preparing you for the person you're meant to become? The problem isn't that we don't have enough time. It's that we don't understand it. We treat it like an obstacle instead of an opportunity. But the moment you stop running from time and start running with it, life changes. You begin to see that time isn't trying to take from you. It's trying to shape you. Every challenge, every delay, every waiting season, it's all time doing its work, molding your character while preparing your success. The truth is, time is not against you. It's working for you. Every setback you faced, every door that didn't open when you wanted it to, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Time was saying, not yet, but soon. Because time has a rhythm, a divine timing that knows exactly when you're ready. And when you start trusting that rhythm, you stop forcing things that aren't meant for you yet. You stop panicking over what's not happening fast enough. You start understanding that growth takes time. Beautiful, uncomfortable, necessary time. Flowers don't bloom overnight. Stars don't shine instantly. So why should your success? The best things in life don't come rushed. They come right on time, when you've grown strong enough to handle them. But trusting time doesn't mean sitting still. It means aligning your effort with patience. It means doing your part with relentless energy while believing that time will do its part too. Too many people confuse patience with passivity. Patience isn't waiting. It's working with faith. It's giving your all today. And trusting that time will reward that effort tomorrow. Because time always keeps score. It watches how you show up when no one's watching. How you keep going even when the results are invisible. And one day, when you least expect it, time hands you everything you've been working for. Not because you waited, but because you worked while you waited. When you begin to see time as your ally, something inside you shifts. You stop comparing your timeline to others. You stop envying people who seem ahead of you. Because you realize everyone's journey unfolds differently. You understand that what's meant for you won't pass you by. It's just waiting for the right moment to arrive. Time is fair like that. It doesn't play favorites. It gives each of us equal hours, but it rewards those who use them with purpose and patience. So instead of asking, why isn't it happening yet? Start asking, what is time trying to teach me right now? Because sometimes, the waiting season isn't about delay. It's about preparation. Time isn't punishing you. It's positioning you. And the beauty of time is that it never stops giving chances. Every new sunrise is proof that you still have time to start again. No matter how far you've fallen, no matter how much time you think you've wasted, it's not over. Time forgives if you start respecting it.